When your own husband treats you like a stranger in your own home, it burns you from the inside out. My name's Denise Carter, and for years, I thought loving Mark was enough. I thought if I cooked, cleaned, and kept my head down, he'd see me as his equal. But when he crossed the line one last time, I didn't just walk away. I burned his perfect little world to the ground, piece by piece. We met in Atlanta, Georgia. I was working as a marketing manager, running social campaigns for small businesses. Mark was a financial advisor, clean-cut, blue eyes, the kind of man who could walk into a room and instantly be the center of attention. Our first year together felt like a dream. But slowly, the cracks started showing. He'd introduce me at his office parties as Denise, my wife. Never Denise, the brilliant woman who, always just my role to him, wife. At first, I brushed it off. But then came the little comments. Babe, maybe don't wear your hair natural for the client dinner. Or, could you tone down your lipstick? You don't want to look too much. He'd laugh when he said it, but the message was always the same. I had to fit into his world, even if it meant shrinking myself down to nothing. Things hit rock bottom the night of his company's annual gala. I had spent hours picking a dress, gold satin, floor length, hugging every curve. I looked in the mirror and thought, yes, this is me. But when Mark saw me, his smile tightened. Babe, you look nice. But maybe you should wear the black one instead. You don't want to stand out too much. Something inside me snapped. Stand out. I was his wife, not his accessory. But I didn't fight him that night. I wore the black dress, smiled for photos, and swallowed my pride. Until I overheard him telling his coworker that I was great at home stuff, but not really into the business world. Like I wasn't a professional with my own damn career. That night, lying next to him, I realized something. He didn't just fail to respect me, he didn't want to respect me. The breaking point came 3 months later. I had just landed a huge campaign for a black-owned beauty brand, one that would be featured in a national magazine. I was ecstatic. I told Mark over dinner, expecting him to be proud. Instead, he smirked. That's cute, babe. But, you know, that's kind of a niche market. It's not like working with a real company. Niche. He was talking about black women like they were a side project. Like I was a side project. I stared at him across the table, feeling my cheeks burn. That was the moment I decided. I wasn't going to argue. I wasn't going to explain why he was wrong. I was going to make sure he learned exactly how wrong he was, in the most public way possible. Over the next 2 months, I played my part perfectly. I laughed at his jokes. I made his coffee. I pretended his business trips were legitimate, even though I knew he was meeting with his friend, a blonde realtor named Claire. I didn't confront him. I didn't cry. I just waited. Then I got my chance. His company was hosting their quarterly networking event, and Mark was in charge of securing sponsors. He bragged constantly about how important this event was for his promotion. That's when I called the CEO of the beauty brand I'd been working with. They had just launched a $500,000 corporate partnership program and were looking for high-profile investment opportunities. I pitched them on sponsoring the entire event, branding everywhere, their products in every gift bag, a panel discussion on diversity in business. The kicker? I would be the keynote speaker. Mark had no idea until the night of the event, when he walked into the ballroom and saw giant banners reading, "Empowerment Through Diversity, presented by Lux Crown Beauty." And there I was on stage, in my gold satin dress, with every eye in the room on me. I took the mic, smiled at the crowd, and started my speech. For too long, women, especially women of color, have been told to shrink themselves to fit into someone else's world. Tonight, we're here to celebrate the opposite. We're here to take up space. I glanced at Mark. His face was pale, his jaw tight. I talked about the importance of representation, the economic power of the black community, and the danger of dismissing people because of outdated, prejudiced ideas. Every point I made was a direct jab at him, but no one else knew. To them, it was just an inspiring keynote. To him, it was a public dismantling of his worldview. After the speech, the CEO announced that Lux Crown Beauty was offering a multi-year sponsorship, and they credited me by name for securing the deal. The room erupted in applause. Mark's boss came over, shook my hand, and said, "Denise, we need more people like you around here." I smiled and said, "Oh, I'm not available. I have my own company to run." Mark realized in that moment that I wasn't just his wife, I was leaving him. That night, I packed my bags, took half our joint savings, and walked out. He tried to call. I didn't answer. But I did send him one text: "Never mistake silence for weakness." It's been a year since that night. My company now runs campaigns for clients across the country. I wear my hair however I want. I wear gold when I feel like gold. And the best part? I don't have to shrink for anyone ever again. Because here's the truth. Sometimes the best revenge isn't yelling, crying, or begging someone to see your worth. Sometimes the best revenge is making sure the world sees it without their permission.